Welcome to TruPowur, home of the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth. Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Matt Fox.
Hello and welcome to TruPowur Academy and week 8 of our Back to Basics series, Putting It All Together. Over the past weeks, we've covered the foundations from scripting your success to building powerful sales cadences, mastering call confidence, and leveraging the TruPowur advantage. Today, it all comes together. This is about walking through your business like a pro, painting the picture of your first month, your first year, and building a roadmap that turns consistency into lasting success. So grab your notes, turn off your distractions, lean in, because what we're putting in today will shape your business to create tomorrow. So without any further ado, let's join today's trainer, Allison Fox. Allison is a passionate leader with a proven track record of helping entrepreneurs build confidence, sharpen their sales skills, and taking their businesses to the next level. She has unique ability to simplify complex strategies into clear, actionable steps that anyone can follow. She's not only committed to teaching the fundamentals, she's committed to helping you apply them in real life. So you can see results and grow with confidence. Please help me welcome our trainer for today, Allison Fox.
Welcome to week 8 of our Back to Basics series, Putting It All Together. So in our 8th and final session, Back to Basics, we're going to do a complete walkthrough of your business. We'll take a look at where you're going to be doing business, when you're going to have office hours, and what the ideal schedule will be for your business. We'll talk about the things you need to keep in mind about your mental outlook and how you can manage your way of approaching business and have a winner's mindset. We'll talk about scripts and a reminder that there will be as many scripts for as many different call campaigns and customers that you're going after. We'll also take a look at advanced sales cadences so that you can schedule your month, your quarter, and your year for success. We'll talk about the specter of call reluctance and what you can do to recognize the signs of call reluctance and how you can recognize that you're not alone. All salespeople face that. And then finally, we'll talk about the TruPowur advantage, why we are uniquely qualified to be successful in power consulting in North America, and some of the things that set us apart in terms of long-term account management. We'll talk a little bit about some recent developments we have to help you manage your long-term book of business and how you can leverage your customer success organization for better business outlook. So when we're thinking about starting a business, I definitely want you to keep in mind where you will be doing this business. Maybe it will be in one location. Maybe it'll be a mobile virtual call center that you'll move as you go through your seasons of your year. But we'll also have you think about what will you be like when you show up at the business? What will be your daily uniform? When will your day start? What will your attitude be like when you arrive at your desk in order to do business? And I'm going to invite you to really think, take a long, hard look at where you are right now and where you'd like to be at the end of 30 days and where you expect to find yourself as you cross each quarter. What will it look like in 12 months? Paint a picture for yourself of exactly what it is that you're trying to build, and imagine how you will feel and how it will look for you to arrive at your business ready to seize all opportunities. It's important to realize that what we think about and how we approach our mentality towards growing a business is almost one of the most critical building blocks that we have. Are you choosing to win? Have you taken a very hard look at the people that you surround yourself? Have you listened to the things that you say to yourself about your success, about your ability to follow through, on your ability to be a salesperson? As you choose to spend your time on a daily basis, are you prioritizing revenue-generating activities? Are you making sure that at any given moment, despite interruptions, despite changes in your schedule, are you prioritizing things that will be closest to the dollar first? Are you making the closing call to a customer? Are you cashing a check? Are you sending a proposal? Are you getting another utility bill? What are you doing to generate more revenue generating activities? And how do you feel about that? Are you aware of the changes that are happening in the marketplace, in the energy market, selling remotely? Are you aware of the changes that people face in terms of budget concerns as a business? Are you aware of how all of the federal changes are affecting different industries? Are you evolving to meet the market? And finally, how badly do you want something? You know, the underlying message that I have for this slide, which is failure is not an option. I was asked a long time ago whether or not I had said something. Somebody had asked me if I could accomplish something, and I said, I'm going to try. And they said, you might as well not even do it if you're just going to try. I'm only looking for people that can do, not try. And at that moment, he said, you know, failure is just not an option. And that is the foundation of your winner's mindset, that failure is not an option. How badly do you want this? Are you willing to do whatever it takes, prioritize revenue-generating activities before you have a coffee break, turn on the TV, watch TikTok, tie your shoes, whatever it is? Are you prioritizing revenue-generating activities, and is failure not an option? Because if it is an option, I don't think you really want it that badly. The winner's mindset is always to be better, 1% better every single day, and give it your best effort on a consistent basis. Scripts are the foundation of any salesperson's success factors. It is something that you will spend the rest of your life while you are in sales writing scripts, practicing scripts, changing scripts, crafting new scripts for new opportunities. But there will always be some, in your pocket scripts that you need to be able to have at your disposal at any given moment. Your basic script, which will be your bread and butter script. This is something that is very simple and very modifiable. Your seasonal scripts, which will take advantage of different parts of the calendar year that are suitable for business conversations, whether that's April for taxes, September for back to school, October for planning, December for year end, February for year start. There are all kinds of seasonal opportunities for us to have a script to check in with businesses or help them make a decision on a new time schedule. Also, who we meet either through our extracurricular activities or former career connections or alumni that you keep in touch with, leveraging a connection, whether that's through a professional organization like LinkedIn or Knights of Columbus or Toastmasters even. Your ability to leverage a connection via a script is going to be one of your bread and butter scripts that you'll reference on a consistent basis. You should be able to leverage fear of missing out with a competitor a script. And what I mean by that is if you're in a competitive market and you're calling, let's say, a class of organizations that you're going to be calling on, let's say hospitals, rural hospitals, when they appear reluctant to make a decision, leverage fear of missing out with a competitor script. You may not be interested, but you may be interested to learn that that hospital down the road has already used a utility bill audit to return $5,000 to their operating account. Do you think it makes sense to find out if you might be missing out on a refund on money you were overcharged? Leveraging things that are happening in a specific geo. For example, in the summer of 2025, we had a 5-day heat streak in the Northeast. Power power use was of the highest in several years, and as you can imagine, those utility bills are going to be through the roof. So crafting a geo-specific script based on something that happened in a geo, or taking advantage of things that occur in a specific region, will be another script that you can employ. Sales cadences are something that most large organizations use in order to get their outbound sales reps on specific time-boxed sales pursuits, where over a specific period of time, they have a certain number of reach outs to a given prospect. The example that is shown here is Mount Auchel's 10-day sales cadence. Some sales cadences can go 21 days, 22 days. In some cases, on very large sales, it might even go 18 months. A sales cadence is a scheduled sequence of touch points, whether those are calls, emails, or LinkedIn messages, used to engage a lead over time. You build sales cadences into your schedule so that you can turn contacts into long-term relationships by building meaningful conversations that ultimately will lead to deals. Understanding that every morning when we wake up as salespeople, there are going to be lots of different things that are going to cross our mind, including call reluctance. And call reluctance is one of those things that it's not a question of if you're going to face it, it's something you're going to face on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis. The important thing to understand is that you're not alone in this case. Everyone feels this way. We're, by design, we are social animals, and when we think that we may encounter rejection, it is hardwired against our instincts to really seek those kinds of behaviors. So it's important to realize that it's a very toxic experience that people can face in their sales career. The impact of call reluctance can, affect salespeople tremendously. There have been studies that have said that based on call reluctance, there are 13 times a salesperson will lose deals over a 30-day period, just based on looking at the behaviors that will cause dropped opportunities. So it's important to realize early signs of call reluctance, whether those are procrastination, over-prepared things, prioritizing other things. Spot the early signs before it gets out of hand, and then use specific techniques to avoid it, whether that is a schedule, whether that's a gamification of outbound activities, whether that's taking prescribed breaks to reward yourself, whether that's conditioning yourself to view the phone as a friend, whether that's learning that to turn no's into excitement, knowing that the next no will surely be one call closer to a yes. The underlying principle to combating call reluctance is realizing that your time is valuable and time is money. So every moment that you don't spend on the phone is robbing yourself of an opportunity to advance your book of business. And finally, you can make a sales career and choose an industry. There's no shortage of opportunities for salespeople out in the world. But if you were to consider the North American power market, there really is not a lot of folks competing against TruPowur. We represent 113 suppliers. We have all of the most compelling products that could be crafted for those risk adverse and those progressive businesses. We operate in all of the major energy as a service markets in North America, and we serve an enormous market. The U.S. market right now, or the North American market, which is roughly the U.S. and Canada, is an $18.9 billion market in 2024. It's projected for CAGR of 11% over the next 7 years, and is projected to be $48.3 billion by 2033. So this is truly a market that is growing. There are a number of factors that are increasing that growth, including AI as an energy hog, as well as tariffs and other supply factors that are driven by geopolitical decisions. So one of the ways that you can leverage this extremely lucrative market is to understand that your conviction about the size of this market and your awareness of how strong of a platform that TruPowur truly is will help you to convey that belief to your prospects. And what I mean by that is you can leverage your internal knowledge to become more confident and understand how your tone of voice can affect their trust in you as a salesperson. And in three simple ways. You can become a subject matter expert. There are a number of ways you can get a survey of the North American energy market. You can help them understand that the deregulated markets that we do business in represent an opportunity. They may have a little more complexity, but overall they represent many different vehicles for us to pursue to help businesses manage risk and get the most affordable rates that they can to power their business. And it really is our willingness and our interest in this business that will help us to convey the authority and the confidence in it that we need in order to help people make the right and informed decisions for their businesses. And one of the ways that we can also do this is to master the elevator pitch on what exactly it is that we do. You're going to be in various scenarios where you can employ an elevator pitch, whether that's on the phone in a 10-second increment or whether that's attending networking events, which might be a 15 to 25-second increment, or whether that's on an airplane or in a cab ride where you might have even 45 seconds to 1 minute. So understand that different audiences will require different elevator pitches, but you should be able to succinctly explain what it is we do to a variety of different audiences, whether those are going to be partners that will help you leverage your business, either other companies that sell to businesses, or whether that is through your interests and outside, your outside family and personal pursuits. Having these elevator pitches will help you to explain what it is that you do and help people help you. And you're going to encounter objections no matter where you go. And so being able to understand the mechanics of handling objections, knowing what the framework is to agree with people when they have concerns, acknowledge that they are entitled to have that opinion, and then find a way to redirect that concern into a more productive conversation. Or employ tie downs where you help a person understand that if I can take care of this, is there any other reason why you can't move forward on a buying decision today? Keep in mind that being able to explain what you do to a variety of audiences, being able to understand the market potential, and being able to help prospective customers understand that we are in all markets and we do have a number of different products and we do have a number of different suppliers, so they can rest assured that we are well suited to be their eyes and ears in the marketplace. At the end of the day, confidence comes from clarity and practice. So keep in mind that some of these things must be memorized, and some of these things are just practice and will come to you as you grow the business. As you think about TruPowur as a foundation for building a book of business in the power consulting market in North America, understand that yes, you can make thousands and thousands of cold calls and get consistently new contracts in small, medium businesses and in mid to large strategic accounts in North America. But there are ways you can also leverage and expand existing customers with long-term relationship management. Here at TruPowur, we have a number of things built into the technology platform that will help manage your power consulting business over the long haul. For example, we have our suppliers notify us every time that a meter will be read 48 hours before the meter will be read. And what that means is that 2 days before a meter reading will happen at one of your commercial customers, you will get an email, as will they, that the meter reading is going to happen, which should prompt you to give them a call and check in with them. How are they doing? Were they aware that the meter reading is coming up? And what are the behaviors that they can do to make sure that they aren't hurting themselves during a meter reading? You may even go so far as to build an email template and a call script for your quarterly meter readings. You can let the customers know when you're first introducing them to TruPowur that this is one of the services we provide, that 5 times a year we will help them remind them about their meter reading so that they don't get harmed by a meter reading that may be erroneously put their capacity way too high. And we can build that into an email and a call script so that you can automate those things and not take too much time out of your work week. We also have continuous rate monitoring. So if a person initiates a multi-year contract with us, in the back end, our platform is continuously monitoring the rates, and there will be specific periods that you'll be reminded of contract expirations, and there will be multiple times that you'll be prompted to have conversations with long-term business customers about where the rates are and where they are in relationship to their contracts and whether or not it's suitable to make any modifications. On a monthly basis, we also generate monthly market outlooks, we just started in September of 2025 to keep everybody aware of the different things that are affecting power costs and power supply and rates. And that is yet another reason to call your existing big business and help them understand what's happening in the markets. Is that going to be something that should be discussed before the renewal of their contract? Probably. You want to be seen as the trusted advisor on all things related to power. So use these built-in periodic things and the continuous monitoring that we do of the markets to your best advantage to develop deeper relationships and stickier conversations with your commercial customers. But also think about potentially adding in some much more garden variety business development things into long-term account planning, such as maybe you do an annual thing, a direct mail piece. Remind people about the meter readings that will be coming up during January. Maybe you do something like end of the year, if you're going to call on a geo near your home, or if you're going to be traveling to a geo where you consistently market in that geo, maybe you do a seasonal swag run where you have something printed out with the TruPowur logo or a promotional piece with the TruPowur logo, and you go out and you press the flesh with an actual customer face to face. These are things that aren't necessarily discussed, but they certainly distinguish people over the long haul. There are, many businesses, the only time they think about power is when they move in and when they move out of a particular location. It doesn't have to be that way. They don't have to just set it and forget it and then be victimized by whatever the rates are doing. Help them to take power over their power access. And then potentially as your big business matures, consider adding in advanced farming techniques, such as maintaining an annual calendar of industry associations, annual conventions, regional meetings that may occur. There will be different organizations that might represent medical hospital administrators, for example, whether that is franchise food service accountants, whether that is automobile dealerships, whatever industry focus that you want to have. There's probably an industry association and probably a convention or trade show that is associated with it. So once the business is up around the $3 to $5 million range as a practice, probably makes sense to maintain some sort of a calendar of events. All these things are going to be, where your business will go from maybe year one. You'll be in the more, $200 to $350 to $750,000 a year in total sales. Maybe in the $3 to $4 million range, you start to do some more advanced events that will create more of a regional presence or an annual presence. It's really the sky is the limit in terms of what you want to do to build your business. And your customer success organization is here to help you do that. You know, the primary focus of customer success is on revenue generating activities, or, you know, those things closest to the dollar. And whether that'll be writing scripts, practicing scripts, coming up with campaigns, whether those are around the time of the year, whether that's around specific things that are happening in the marketplace, defining and coming up with sales cadences, whether that's going to be SMB cadences or, your mid-tier or strategic account. Are you going to be going after, let's say 50 premier strategic accounts in a specific geo? Maybe you have an annual sales cadence for those large geo targets that you have. Understanding how audits can be a form of building a book of business, how we can do audits in every single market, and why that's important to just get on the phone and get the time on the phone and having these conversations about people's energy concerns. Generating commercial proposals, how you look at a bill, and getting experience on talking to people that create an audit opportunity and looking at those bills that may be suitable for commercial proposals. Understanding whether or not you're going to have any long-term accounts. What is that going to look like? Is it going to be by revenue? Is that going to be by geo? Is it going to be by industry? I mean, what is going to be the focus on your book of business? Is it going to be whoever I can call in a specific market, or are you going to get strategic about it and go after a specific vertical? These are all things that a customer success manager can help you plan in terms of long-term account planning. And what would be a healthy pipeline? Is that 300 audits? Is that 100 audits and 50 commercial proposals? What would be a successful pipeline? But let's take a look at the calls that you are making. We can listen to the recorded calls. We could even do some advanced work, with call analysis. But understand that you do own your metrics. How many activities you're going to do in a day, how many dials, how many bills, how many audits, how many proposals. What is that going to look like? Know your metrics and measure them frequently. It's been a delight giving you these last 8 weeks of sales training. There's lots of ways that you can reach me. Send me an email, give me a call, or go onto the quick launch menu and book a session. We look forward to working with you.
That wraps up week 8, putting it all together. Remember, success in this business is built on clarity, practice, and consistent revenue generating activities. The scripts, the cadence, audits, proposals, and follow-up that set you apart. You have the tools, you have the support, and you have the market opportunity in front of you. The only question left is, how badly do you want it? Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for committing your growth. And as always, stay plugged in, stay consistent, and keep building your TruPowur future. We'll see you at the next training. So until then, have fun storming the castle. Bye now.